Hey, back with another Crypt of the Necrodancer video. They recently released Shovel Knight as a playable character with a new soundtrack, which is really exciting. I wasn't a huge fan of the last character release, which was Hatsune Miku, believe it or not. But I did love the soundtrack they added with her, and the mechanics were really interesting. Not my favorite, but interesting. Here's me just jamming out some music. Anyways, I warmed up on some white skeletons, and this was enough for me. I only had to kill a couple skeletons, and I was feeling confident that I could beat all zones with this character. I didn't really know how it worked. I didn't know what the bar meant when you get a combo, but I just went for it, and this is my first attempt, which went quite well. But yeah, so this character, he bounces on top of enemies with his shovel, and you can't get any weapons, but you can get better shovels, which, depending on the level of shovel, it'll do that amount of damage. So, titanium shovel does 2 damage, crystal shovel's gonna do 3 damage, and so on and so forth. So, plus you can also get damage items. You can get torches and rings and armor and boots. So there's a lot of ways to stack damage as this character, which is fun and pretty necessary, because not doing 2 damage later in the game can be a big pain. But yeah, I had no clue what the little marks in the ground were. If you get a good combo, it will create a mark in the ground, and it turns out that those are the replacement for the cracked ground. I don't know if this was a change they had thought of before Shovel Knight or after Shovel Knight, but the new cracked floor is a little hole in the floor, which it's easier to see, honestly, and it's a cool concept because you are playing a Shovel Knight, so it makes sense that he could find a way to dig past the floor. So, yep, this is just Zone 1, Level 1. This is me fooling around. Not a whole lot to say here. That's that. I just want to show off one full floor because the rest of this video is highlights and moments.
To break it?
You can break boxes with Shovel Knight. If you get a multi-hit combo, you do more damage. I don't know the details, and I can't find anything in the changelog or patch notes, so I'm gonna keep it vague so I don't give you wrong information. The combos are super duper fun. I mean, you can bounce on top of so many enemies in a row, and then you can also bounce on the dirt as well, which I don't utilize very well because it's such a foreign concept to me. I'm so used to the walls being walls, kind of untraversable, so I didn't utilize it a lot. I probably will. Overall, I did enjoy this character. You can bounce on chests as well, just show that off. Yeah, overall, I really like this character. It's not too challenging. Miku sometimes feels impossible, but this character feels just a lot stronger, I think. And I don't even think Miku's that weak, but maybe I just enjoy the mechanics more. But here's Death Metal, which really isn't bad if you have some extra damage. I mean, you can also find these little hidden items in black anthills. I don't really know what to call them. That's what they look like to me. And that's a good way to get more gear, get more stacked. It's not really necessary, I think. I don't think the character needs more items, but it's pretty cool. I definitely would put this in the easier category of characters in general, but I'll get to that later. King Konga is so much fun, as is the case with Miku and Suzu as well, just because of these crazy combos you can get. And with Shovel Knight, you can even be more intentional about it, which is... Fighting King Konga as this character is
doesn't matter what the new character is, it's always good against King Konga.
And finding pockets with enemies is also really fun. It doesn't really matter that you get a combo. Here's Zone 3 being Zone 3. Good lord. That is so much worse than I remember. And here's Mommy being really, really easy with this character, which is nice because, God, I hate that mini-boss. But yeah, that's my main complaint of this character, is the combos don't really matter. With Miku, getting a combo is fairly important because it gives you sings, which are your way to break walls, break objects, heal, and so there's incentive to get combos. With this character, the incentive is being able to kill things quickly and it being fun, but getting a cracked ground piece is not very useful. Most of the time, by the time you get a combo, you're near the boss room or about done with the level, so may as well just take the stairs. It also doesn't crack the ground all the way. You have to either land on the tile 2 more times, I think, or use a bomb. And again, it's just not super worth it for the combo. So that's my complaint, but I do love this character. The later zones start to get a little bit more tricky because, like Miku, you can't just bounce around randomly because you'll likely bounce into an attack. I was so rusty in this. I mean, this footage is embarrassing. I cannot believe I'm showing it. But this was my first ever attempt. I made it Zone 5, so I guess it's not horrible, but God, this Zone 5 gameplay is atrocious. I decided to do one more run that day, just because I'd gone to Zone 5, so I figured I could do it again.
What the
I did indeed get to Zone 5 again, but yeah, just pure brain fart here. This song on Zone 5 Level 3 just doesn't compute for me, so you can see I was constantly missing beats, which just made me die very quickly.
I'm back. I'm gonna beat all zones mode this time. I'm not gonna choke. I also figured out what the holes in the ground do now, so we're set. We're locked in. Let's get it.
If you could hear me over the music, congratulations, I can't. But I decided to leave the intro in anyway. Yeah, so I got on the next day, decided to give it a whirl, and definitely had a lot more success. That was a cool clip of being able to abuse bouncing on the ground to get some kills, and using the box there, but getting hit by a zombie, which is embarrassing. And yeah, just a couple more combos and interesting moments, and then the win at the end. I hope you enjoyed. If you play Crypt of the Necrodancer, highly recommend getting this DLC. It's cheap. If anything, it's worth it for the soundtrack. But I think the soundtrack and the character are both awesome. And frankly, I think it's worth it to support this incredible game. So yeah, thanks for watching. Oh, and little PS, don't judge my gameplay. It was bad. It'll be better.
Holy moly, underworld bully, I will crush those who oppose me, just like mummies hold me. My ambitions are cavernous, my motto is avarice with grip.
Okay, that wasn't so bad.